Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about all things fandom on this channel and we talk about it in a positive way. If that's something that appeals to you, you know you've come to the right place. We're so happy to have you here today. And today is Saturday and we're going to talk a little bit about the newest cartoon icon that's entered public domain to get their own horror movie. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so at this stage, I think it's kind of obvious that anytime a character goes into public domain and people can do whatever they want with them, they're going to do whatever they want with them. And one of those things that they're going to continuously do is make horror movies about the characters. And one of the newest characters that's been announced to be getting their own horror movie is Betty Boop. And if you don't know who Betty Boop is an old cartoon character that at one point was one of the most beloved cartoon icons in America. And it's crazy because the character was basically known to everyone. And now I don't feel like she's quite as known as she used to be. However, the character is still an iconic part of Americana. And if you have not ever seen a Betty Boop cartoon, you need to check it out. Some of her cartoons were before the censors got a hold of things, so there are some cartoons of hers that are a bit more provocative than others. At least in terms of the censorship type of thing goes, they are considered to be before the rating system rated all the cartoons and TV and movies and all of that. So yes, she is that old. It is also worth noting that Fleischer Studios, founded by the animation pioneers Max and Dave Fleischer, produced the Betty Boop shorts from 1930 to 1939. And the Superman animated film series from 1941 to 1942. The same pool of animators and creative staff were employed across its various productions, and this should tell you exactly how iconic Betty Boop really is. So she's going to be in public domain pretty quick here. And you know that as soon as that was announced, there was going to be a horror movie. And this is the thing about that. This horror movie starring Betty Boop sounds a bit intriguing already. It sounds a bit weird. It sounds like something that's not quite what I expected, and yet I guess it's exactly what one should expect from this type of movie by now, because it just turns all of your iconic characters into movie slashers. If you look back, we've had a number of them that have come out so far. We've had Steamboat Willie, which is essentially Mickey Mouse. We've had Bambi. We've had Peter Pan. Captain Hook even got his own horror movie. Then you have ones like Winnie the Pooh. That was the first really big one that came out, and everything just spiraled down from there after Winnie the Pooh got his own horror movie. And then, of course, there's Popeye. And now we have this new character that's getting the same treatment. Betty Boop. But what is going to be the plot of this new Betty Boop horror movie? Well, Betty Boop will slay noisy podcasters in the new Boop horror movie. That's right, it says the next character getting this treatment is Betty Boop. Boop, a horror film about Betty Boop. According to Deadline, the Boop horror movie is going to the American film market with its dark take on the classic cartoon. First Class Productions will produce this film with VMI Worldwide as its distributor, and Boop already has a plot. A team of horror podcast investigators break into an abandoned theater only to discover it's haunted by the starlet known as Boop. A simple investigation turns into a bloodbath as they fight to escape this murderous starlet. And Boop is out for revenge. Boop stars Devani Penn as Boop, Katisha Shaw and Spencer Breslin, as well as Eva Hamilton and Colton Tran. I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of those names. Jose Paredes and Josh Ridgway are the writers behind this Betty Boop horror film, and Jared Cohen is its director. Now, COO of BMI, Jessica Russo, said, "Getting your classic cartoon told as a horror film is still mind-blowing, but what sets Boop apart from the other ones is her motivation. Boop's dark history is extremely grim, but this telling allows her to get power back. A true testament to feminism led by a predominantly female team." So I think this is going to be a lot of fun. This film sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Betty Boop has always sort of been this iconic character, whether you know who she is or not. Whether you've ever seen the Betty Boop cartoons or you would be new to this character based on finding out that this horror movie is going to be a thing. Basically, the character's always been sort of this icon. And it probably is one of the most iconic characters that we've gotten to see get their own horror film. I would rank this right up there with the likes of Winnie the Pooh getting a horror film, or with Popeye getting a horror film. I would rank this right up there with those in terms of things that should shock us and actually do. Now, Popeye ended up getting a whole bunch of horror films, and some of them were good and some of them weren't. And Winnie the Pooh appeared in a couple, and Mickey Mouse had a lot of them under the Steamboat Willie persona going into public domain. And that was kind of the thing. When Steamboat Willie went into public domain, it really set off all of this, with him getting a whole bunch of horror movies made about him. And then Popeye comes in, I think, next. I think that those two have the most horror movies made about them. And I don't see Betty Boop topping those numbers. I don't see them having multiple Betty Boop horror movies, but this is definitely something that's intriguing. And it's also something that I haven't seen anybody, as of the time I'm filming this video, talking about yet. So I thought it would be fun to introduce you to this idea, to show you that, hey, this is getting done. Look, this is another iconic character entering the public domain, getting a horror movie. And I just wanted to let you guys know so that you could be a part of the conversation. So make sure you're leaving me a comment. Let me know everything that you're thinking. Do you hate this idea? Do you love this idea? What do you think a Betty Boop horror movie is going to look like? Are you familiar with the character? Are you unfamiliar with the character? Whatever it is, I want to hear from you. So definitely leave me that comment. Share this video with all of your friends so they can be a part of this conversation as well. Then you're going to want to hit that like button. If you like positive content in your feed, you're going to want to let the algorithm know so that they can actually bring you more positive content in your feed. And if you're liking our videos personally, you know you have to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Because friends, at the end of the day, I know it and you know it. Fandom is family.